am beyond excited today to be talking to you about the 2024 marketing trends for online coaches, consultants, and experts. I think that I have a unique perspective on things, and I look at things in a pretty particular way from what I see has been going on in the market, specifically in the last few years. And these are changes and trends that I clearly see that a lot of the people that I talk to are seeing as well. And I think that you should be paying attention to as well. So I'm coming to you today, kind of very little makeup, no earrings on, completely off brand for me, if you know me. And if you're listening to me on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or anywhere else, go watch it on YouTube and subscribe in all of these different places. Because why wouldn't you? But yes, I am coming to you a little bit off brand today because my makeup is very minimal and my earrings are not on. But I had one of those nights. My 4-year-old woke up in the middle of the night with a high fever. She's asleep right now at home. All is good. But I felt like I still had a message to share. I still had things that I wanted to share with you guys today. And I'm like, am I going to wait until I look perfectly put together? No, because why would I? I need to share my piece, say the thing that I want to say. So that being said, I want to walk you through some of the things that I believe are really important as we look ahead for 2024. I feel like there's been a lot of changes in the industry in the last few years. And it seems to me like there's a lot of people that are still not getting with it, that are still, kind of living in their own little reality, have not paid attention to what's going on, and it's really affecting their businesses in more ways than one, right? And I feel like this is the time for you to make sure that you're making the changes that are necessary for you to build the success that you want to be building in your own career, in your own business, and the things that you're doing. Because if you keep on doing things in the old way, and keep on focusing on doubling down, thinking that that's the only thing that you need to do, double down on the marketing strategy, double down on the system, and not pay attention to the other things that are important, you're going to be not in a magnificent place. And I see a lot of people talking about like how 2023, so many people are struggling in their businesses as the year comes to a close. And I can say confidently that I don't see that for myself. I see that for me and a lot of my clients. They've been experiencing a lot of success because we've been doing things in a different way. So I want to talk to you a little bit about those different things that we've been doing and the things that I feel are important for us to talk about in terms of trends that are coming and going as the new year steps in. So the first thing I want to kind of touch base upon is bro marketer as an establishment is gone. I see that as something that is working less and less and less as the years go on. So when I talk about bro marketer, what I mean is this like very masculine approach to selling where you're basically making people feel like crap in your messaging and agitating pain and making them see you as their ultimate savior, the only person that can come in and save them from their miserable, hopeless situation. And then you're using these very elaborated and very intense high pressure tactics to get people on the phone and then sell to those people. Like, who do they have to sell so that they can enroll into your program? That type of marketing is not working. And it has not been working for a few years right now. But I feel like as we step into 2024, that is only going to get worse, that not workingness, right? I often talk about how, like, if we look back at how media treated Britney Spears back in the day, and it was like the most normal thing, I feel like and how we now look at it with absolute cringe and embarrassment, that's what I feel is going to happen with bro marketers in general. I feel like we're going to, as we step into 2024, we're going to start looking at those tactics and those very high pressure strategies and, slimy ways of doing things as like really cringy and embarrassing and the thing that we don't want to do. And unfortunately, this is a very big industry. There's a lot of people that are teaching others that this is the way to sell through very cold DMs and through very high pressure tactics and fast action discounts and things and all of this type of pressure where you don't even let people think about anything so that they can get on the call with you and so that they can make those purchasing decisions. Because if they don't buy within the first 24 hours, they're a lost soul, right? And this whole thing that we've all been taught, I've been taught this by multiple coaches and multiple programs, and I feel like it is simply not working anymore. I see it more and more every single day with the people that come to me, that come from a lot of these coaching programs and are saying, Fabi, I was making 7 figures a year in my business, and now all of a sudden, nothing is working. My marketing isn't working. I'm not getting responses from people. People aren't really paying attention. I don't understand what's going on. I understand what's going on. That type of marketing will not work. And tied to bro marketing, like kind of falling apart, like the demise of bro marketing in 2024, I also feel like lazy marketing in general is not going to work either. So what I mean when I say lazy marketing are these very high claims and guarantees tactics to get people to buy. So I feel like, while I personally love Alex Hormozi, and I think that his book, $100 Million Offer, and even the $100 Million Lead books are very good. And I love how he explains offers and all of these different things. What has happened as a result of his book are a lot of people offering like these insane guarantees to get people to enroll into their programs. But then there's always a little caveat with that. And I feel like the market is inundated right now with like crazy claims and guarantees and all these things. And I feel that that is very lazy marketing, because you think that by using these guarantees, you're going to make it a no-brainer decision for people to buy from you. But what you're actually doing is you're attracting a lot of people that only would buy from you if you have the guarantee. And that means that typically the people that are always depending on these guarantees are people that don't trust themselves. They're not necessarily action takers, that are dependent on you to do the work, that want you to do. It's on you. It's your fault if things don't work out. It's on you. It's because of how you did things. It's because of how you taught me. You tend to attract a lot of victim mentality people and become that Ursula, like I talked about, attracting poor, unfortunate souls when you're using a lot of claims and guarantees in your marketing. And I feel that that is the laziest thing that you can do to get people on the phone. I had a conversation, I've had a lot of conversations actually, but I had a conversation last week with somebody that said, Fabi, I don't understand. I have a lot, like my calendar is completely booked. Every single day, every slot, I have somebody booked on my calendar. And when I hop on the phone with these people don't have money, or these people are bringing up excuses, or these people are bringing up different things, and they're not enrolling into my program. And they're saying, this is the absolute best program I've seen. This is exactly what I need, but they are not buying. And when I took a look at his marketing, his webinar strategy, his video sales letter, the things that he was using in his messaging, it was completely clear to why that was happening, because he was doing lazy marketing. Claims. Let's do this. I'm giving you that. This is what my clients will do. This is what everybody does. Here's why I'm so wonderful. But there's no substance behind that marketing. And it is very lazy, a lazy way to get people on the phone. Now, I don't mean to insult you if this is what you're doing. What I want you to understand is that this type of marketing does not work and will definitely not work as time keeps on moving on. The reason why is that the market is getting more and more sophisticated every single day. The high quality leads, the people that you want to attract, the people that are ready to buy and that are willing to put in money and energy and commitment to solving the problem that you're an expert at solving, they're not going to buy if you're using these claims and these different things, because these are people that are skeptical and that have a really powerful understanding of what it actually takes to build success, right? So they might not know the details of how you, like what they need to do yet, because obviously they need to have a problem in order to hire you, but they do know that these types of claims feel like the used car salesman, or the, like, if you buy now, you're also getting this, like those infomercials from the 90s, right? Where it's like, let me try to sell you into whatever I need to sell you into, right? And that's not who you want to attract. Those are not your people. Not if you're here listening to this or watching this, your people should be made up of people that are action takers, who are resourceful, who don't need hand-holding, who are very result-oriented and outcome-oriented and will do the work, but not blame you if something doesn't happen. Or, I mean, obviously you have to hold yourself as a coach accountable in a certain way, but you don't want the people that will hold you accountable for 100% of everything and hold you responsible for their success, right? That's not the people that you want. And this type of marketing where you're just using claims and saying, this is amazing, and look at all the things our clients have done, and we have all these guarantees, but you're not really telling them anything about what you're actually doing, how this process works, why this process will work for them. That type of marketing will not attract the right people. The right people will not be turned on by that. I can tell you from my perspective, I consider myself a ready to invest client, somebody who's very focused and action taker and will do whatever it is required from me. And I understand how things work. When I see that type of marketing, I immediately feel like there's always an actual catch and like there's something wrong with that, right? And I get suspicious. I get skeptical. I feel like that's not what drives me to make a decision to buy. I pay a lot of attention at how you're doing things as a coach, right? How are you doing things? What are you selling? Are you embodying what you sell? Like if you're a video marketer that is teaching people how to use video to get clients, are you using video to get clients or are you not? If you are a mindset coach and you're talking about peace and harmony and trying to not be overwhelmed, are you showing yourself like that? Is it real? Can I feel it as authentic? So that's what I'm looking for. That's what your audience is looking for as well. So lazy marketing where you're just trying to get people on the phone and that's the whole focus of everything that you're doing is not going to work in 2024. You know, I have a saying that is like, instead of you focusing on selling that phone call, what you want to be selling is the big idea. What is the idea behind you? Your process? What is your hypothesis? What is your way of doing things? What makes you different? Not you personally, but your process. What makes it different? What makes it powerful? What makes it one of a kind? That's where you need to put your attention on with the things that you're creating, not lazy marketing where you're using guarantees and claims to get people on the phone. That will not work in 2024. I do have a training at readytoinvestclients.com where I explain very clearly how to make sure that you're speaking to the right audience and how to bring forward that big idea, angle of mastery, like I like to call it. So make sure that you sign up for it and watch it right now. So bro marketing, forget it. Lazy marketing where it's like, let me set up this funnel and build this thing and then disappear and just like live in Bali, drinking margaritas by the beach and not doing anything because I'm automatically getting clients. I don't think that that works anymore. I think that that's not the way that the world works anymore. I think that you need to show up more and more because competition is ruthless right now. There's a lot of people out there. And if you're, and your competition, by the way, is like following Gary Vee and they're posting 20 videos a day and they're creating content like a mad person and just going on and on like crazy. And if you're not showing up, I'm not saying at 20 videos a day level, but if you're not showing up at all, just except for your funnel and your automated system, you're going to be losing clients. And in 2024, what's required of you for you to make a business that is profitable and that works and that brings in clients is for you to show up for your people. So for me, I really do believe that you having a lot of clarity around your voice and what you want to share, what you want to say, why you want to say it, why it matters to you, and why it should matter to your audience is really important and is going to make a very big difference in you building success. I want you to think about the brands that kind of took off this year, the coaches that you've seen that are taking off and that are doing big things that you see very actively as people that are succeeding and not declining. These are people that have an opinion. These are people that have things to say. These are people that are showing up. These are people that have a voice, that have a message. And more so every day, I see that trend going that way versus like, let me build a funnel. Let me be vague with my funnel. Let me be kind of like mysterious about what I sell and how I sell, and like to get people on the phone. I don't think that that necessarily is going to be something that works anymore. And it's something that's going like way down, like on the decline, basically. Another thing that I feel kind of really tied to that, and this is a quote that I get from my friend George Bryant, who is an incredible business coach. And it's Relationships beat algorithms. I really do believe that that's really important, really building relationships. Now, I want to clarify that when I say relationships beat algorithms, I don't mean go cold DM everybody. I feel like what I've been seeing in the last maybe couple of months, probably I would imagine as a result of Alex Hormozy's $100 million leads book, is a lot of cold DMs from people. Like an insane amount of cold DMs from people. I don't know about you, but my inbox is like full of DMs from people. And there are these copy paste messages and these strategies that are very obvious. They might comment on 2 or 3 of my posts and then come into my DMs and be like, hey, are you taking on clients right now? And it's very obvious that they want to sell you something. That's not what I mean when I say relationships beat algorithms. I mean building genuine relationships with people, especially if you're talking about premium clients, like the people that will pay you 3, 5, 10, 20, 30, 100K to work with you. These are not people that you're going to cold DM your way into their bank accounts. And I mean, maybe, but the amount of people that you're going to have to message is going to be brutal for you. And what happens when you have to reach out to so many people so that you can hit your quota, right? Is if you're DMing 100 people a day, you don't have time to build relationships with anybody. It's a very cold strategy. That will simply not work. And I feel like what is required for you to be able to really reach people that are amazing fits, that are going to get great results, that are really action takers, like that are really going to feel like soulmate clients for you, and that you're going to feel like the soulmate coach for them, is for you to actually nurture your people, for you to actually build powerful relationships with people. This is one of those things that we have been focusing on a lot for the past, I would say, almost 3 years. And you can see this in everything that we do. If you get into, for example, sign up for readytoinvestclients.com and get into my email list, you will see our sequence, our processes, how we do things, how we nurture our relationships. For people that book the 15-minute assessment with me, brandmessagesession.com is where you can book that. Those people that book in that call with me will also see what that process looks like. It is a very unique system. We are really focused on nurturing our audience, and building true relationships with people. And I feel that with the saturation that's inevitably coming with people cold DMing, cold emailing, cold calling everybody, I promise you that that's going to reach like this breaking point where that will just work less and less and less and less over time. And if you don't take the time to actually build relationships with people, that is going to become a disaster for you. It's going to be like that Britney Spears thing where we're going to be looking at it like cringy, even though cold DMing or cold calling has been like the age-old strategy from the beginning of marketing days of Yorn, right? Like, I don't think that strategy is going to work when you overly saturate it and you just abuse it. You have to do it in a really powerful way. I personally don't cold DM people. I don't teach my clients to cold DM people. I think that if that works for you and if it feels to you like it's something that you're doing with intention, go for it. I will DM people when they ask me to be DM'd, right? Like if I share something on Facebook or on my social media and I say, well, if you want access to this, let me know below. And then I'll DM them and I'll send them the asset or the resources that they ask for. I don't personally do that. I've seen it done well done. It's very rare that you see it well done. I would say that maybe 1 in every 60, maybe closer to 100 people will do it really well. But I think that my point with this is you need to really build relationships with people. Whether you're doing it on cold DM, if that's your thing, go for it. But make sure that you're actually building relationships. Or even if you're doing it through a funnel like we do, we have our funnel, we have our system, we're still building relationships. There's still this sense of us taking care of people and not treating people as a transaction. That to me is fundamental. I think that if you're here, you already know that about us, but I also think that you need to think about for you as you move into 2024, how can I make sure that I am not really treating people like a number? How can I make sure that I'm treating people like people, like human beings, like you want to be treated yourself? So I think that that's really, really important. Relationships beat algorithms. The other thing that I want to talk about is the trend with AI that I think is really important as well. I think that AI is an amazing tool. I personally use ChatGPT quite a bit in my business, and I teach my clients to use ChatGPT in certain aspects of their businesses as well. For me, ChatGPT is a tool. However, I go on brand message assessments every single week, multiple brand assessments each week. And I can immediately tell when somebody wrote their website copy using AI versus when somebody didn't. And when I feel like I'm being sold to through AI and you're trying to sell me something through AI, it immediately diminishes your expertise under my eyes, right? Like, it's like, well, why are you using AI or ChatGPT to write your copy for you? Are you an expert? Or are you making or acting like you're an expert? Or is it true or is it make believe? My skepticism goes up when I see copy that is very clearly written by AI. And you can try to get as many great prompts as you want and use whatever, hire whatever coach or buy whatever system that's going to teach you how to get the best prompts of ChatGPT. But nothing is ever going to beat heart. Nothing is ever going to beat soul. Nothing is ever going to beat human being and human connections, right? So AI is going to take off as a tool, but I think that it's going to work less and less if you're using it in marketing purposes. That's from my perspective. That's what I personally see, and that's what I kind of experience when I see content from other people, right? Making sure that you're actually communicating effectively, but that it feels like it's a human and not like it's a robot saying these things is really important, my friends. If you're relying on ChatGPT to come up with like this content plan and create posts for you or all these things, and it's not working for you, like really significantly working, it's very likely a messaging issue at the core, because if you don't have the core message really well defined, if you don't know who you are, what you're saying, who you're talking to, why you're talking to them, there's a lot of pieces that are very important that need to be put forward in your message, in your content, that ChatGPT will not replace for you. You can use ChatGPT to create a foundation, but not as the base of your copy or your webinar or any of this stuff. I promise it will not work. And if you're relying on this and you're seeing that it's not really working, this is the reason why. Nothing is going to ever replace soul. No robot will ever be able to do that. Use it as a tool, but don't use it as your coach, is what I would recommend personally. You do you, but that's what I see as a trend moving into 2024. The other thing that I would say, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about, is the importance of value, of you learning how to really share true value with your audience. Kind of ties back to lazy marketing, right? I think that what is seen as valuable is going to change as we move into 2024. I think that there's so much noise. Like, it's insanity how much noise, how many posts, how many pieces of content are created every single day. And I would say that 90-something% of them are like how-to content or step-by-step content or tutorials or whatever. And I believe that that type of content will not work. It does not work, and it will work less because everybody's saying the same thing. How do you expect to get clients if you're saying the same thing as everybody else? If you don't have something really valuable to share, but not value from a place of tactics, but from a place of like light bulb moments and breakthroughs and ahs and like, I got it, your content is going to fall flat. I don't care if you're doing the Gary Vee thing and posting 20 videos a day and like going crazy. If the message is not there, it's not there. If there's no real value from the perspective of your audience, it's not going to work. So those are some of my things that I view as trends going into 2024. I also, let me add one last one. I also feel like the way that people sell is going to change. Well, I guess it's tied to what I said about bro marketing, but I also feel like there's going to be more and more strategies around selling that will work really well for people. We already have seen that with people selling lower ticket offers and through DMs, and not cold DMs, but through DMs and through Messenger and all these different things. I feel like we're going to see more and more of that in the industry, and that's going to just start taking over even more. people want to get a taste of what you do before they jump all in. So I feel like just finding different ways and strategies of selling is really fundamental for that. So I'm very curious to hear what your thoughts are. If you agree with the things that I said or not, make sure you comment below on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, leave a review, Spotify, or find me on Facebook as well. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts and your opinions about the things that I talked about in terms of trends. Call to actions for you. ReadyToInvestClients.com is where my 20-minute training on how to speak to ready to invest clients is. And brandmessagesession.com is where you're going to be able to book a 15-minute session with me, where I will personally evaluate your message, how you're communicating to people, your marketing strategy, and give you very specific personalized feedback on what you can do immediately to generate more sales, to attract better quality leads. This is not a sales call. This is a 100% value-based call. I'm not even following a script. This is totally me just coaching you for free. So make sure you go to brandmessagesession.com to book that right now, and I will see you really soon. Bye.